So year 8, we have our final lesson of adaptation and inheritance, our reflection lesson. How did you get on with the test? Have a real think about this topic. I know quite a few of you have really enjoyed this topic and done really well. So what we're going to do is have a real think about what we did, try and find out if we've got any gaps in knowledge, and then we're going to fill in those gaps today. So first of all, I want you to go back through the YouTube lessons, make sure you've done all of them, complete any missing work there. So in total for this topic, there was 8 science lessons. There was 2 revision lessons this week, and then obviously the online end of topic test on Show My Homework, which obviously we can monitor as well. And then finally today's lesson, which is our reflection lesson. So just go back and double check that you have done everything. So at the start of this topic, we filled out our orange statement. So go back to the lesson at the start of the adaptation and inheritance topic, and you will find this list of statements, and then you rag them. So you filled out the before column. What I want you to do now, exactly like we do in lesson, I want you to fill out the after column. So hopefully you should now have learned something. So you should now know what a gene bank is. You should now know how competition can lead to extinction. You will know about DNA and things like that. So now go back and complete the after column in your orange statement from that very first lesson of this topic. Great, so now we've done our orange statement, we move on to our reflection sheet. So obviously in class it's normally green, but at home you're just going to do it in your books. And I want you to pick 1 strength, 1 improvement, and 1 target. If you are in grammar stream, I want you to pick 2 strengths and 2 targets. And if you fancy a challenge and you are zapping through all this stuff, as a lot of you are in our X classes, I want you also to pick out 2 strengths and 2 targets. So have a think about the test you did. Go back through your pages in your book, and what are you really good at? What is your strength? What is something that you didn't know at the start, but now you know? So it might be something about fossils or something about extinction, or it could be about data. And then think about what you're still not very good at. So you might not really get the DNA and the fact that it's found on chromosomes in the nucleus, or it might be you've got no idea about graphs still. Pick one of those things that you find very difficult and write that down as your target. Do it in your own words. And then make your own reflection sheet like we've got here. Okay, so we've got our orange sheet, we've got our green sheet filled out. Don't forget on that green sheet to put down your minimum expected grade. So that's the minimum of what you'd expect to get at GCSE. All of you, we would expect to get a 4 at GCSE. That would be great. And obviously, if you think you get 6s, 7s, 8s, push yourself as hard as you can. That can be your new minimum expected grade. I now want you to pick out any 3 targets from the next 2 pages. So there are 7 to choose from. I want you to pick at least 3. I want you to do them in your books. Use the YouTube videos, use BBC Bite Size, and use your notes to complete the targets. And then you can mark your own work from your notes in your book, and we'll see if you achieved your target. So your target on your green reflection sheet should have something to do with one of these targets to show that we've improved on something. So pick out 3, do it in your books, mark it yourself, and then see if you actually achieved your target. So how did you do? Did you achieve your targets? Are you smashing this subject? What I want you to do now, I want you to send me a piece of your work, or it could be your targets, and I can mark them for you as well. You can send it to myself or Miss Moore or Miss Horney, whoever you would like to send it to. Let us have a look at how fantastic you're doing. And we can also put that on your data that you're getting on very well with the homeschool program. Well done, everyone. We have one final PowerPoint slide to have a chat about. So on to the next slide. So finally, for you budding biologists, our future David Attenboroughs of the future, if you would like to know a little bit more about this subject, or you find the whole thing of like the Jurassic Park concept or bringing back the woolly mammoth idea fascinating, there is a TED talk that is really great. I think it's only about I think it's about 10 minutes long, so not hugely long, but well worth a listen. The guy is fascinating. I had a listen, and it really, really does get you thinking about the possibilities of nature in the future and what we can do and whether we should do these things. So I know there's a quote in Jurassic Park about it's not whether we can do these things, it's whether we should. So what do you think? Have a watch if you're interested.